Good morning. Alright, so this is going to be, we're reformatting the videos. We are going to be doing, I think, weekly episodes. I want to do a better job at telling our continuous story as we travel and go to different places. And while although the short daily vlogs were fun, I'm not sure I was getting the bang for my buck from a energy and time standpoint. I still want to do a couple videos a week, but we're going to have a story, narrative, what we're doing, kind of just more episode, family-like stuff. And then we'll do tips and trick videos kind of sprinkled in and out when we have a topic that we think is relevant. So that's kind of the channel direction at this point. So, so this week is going to be a busy week. We are in Texas again, and we are here to get the new fifth wheel and truck registered. We had to come back to get them inspected and then registered. And then I also need a Class A non-commercial or exempt license. So today there's no line at the DPS. They call it DPS here, but it's DMV in most places. So I'm going to run over there and try and do the written test. And then that way later this week I can schedule the test drive. We have to get everything packed up and basically like a move day, because we have to take this whole unit to get it tested. So, okay. Alright, so you guys are going to come with me to the DMV. Everyone else is going to stay here. And let's get this week going. Alright. Okay, well, so I just am leaving the Fort Worth DPS building, and I did not pass all my tests. So I passed the first one that was all about like actual things that matter, and then they have a second one that they call like the combination test, and that was all air brakes and stuff that I didn't study because I didn't think I needed to have an air brake knowledge. I'm not driving a semi. Anyway, so the rule is I can come back tomorrow and I can retake, I think, just that test. Once you pass one, you don't have to retake them. So I reviewed all my incorrect wrong answers, and well, tomorrow hopefully we can get more of those right. And then once I get all of those right, then we can do we can schedule the driving test. I hope we can schedule it within the same week. I do not want to have to tell Kristen we're staying here longer. While the storyline with the DMV will continue to play out, we decided to do more than just one project this week and start working on our new desk for the office space. Alright, so the plan is actually not to cut this totally square, but I need like 31.5 inches this way by 24 inches. So I don't need the whole thing, so we're just going to cut that down to size real quick, see if it fits. It's going to go in that room back there. I'm debating on if I'm going to stain it today or not. It's so hot here. I might just put it up to test it to make sure it's what I want and then stain it in a couple weeks. Why is it so hot? I need this cable because that was just to plug into the RV and then run an extension. With the 3 ACs on, I think I'll go over my 50 amp. So we'll connect another 20 amp to the power. Then we can use this directly to the saw. Other than my sweat all over this, I would say so far so good. Sand off the edges. right, and just like that, we have a nice, smooth, custom cut piece of wood. So if you were following along in season 1, or you have gone back and watched season 1, it's when we did the whole RV renovation. I always would make these, right? So they're kind of complicated to make. You need a lot of different clamps and planers and saws and stuff. If you are on the road or just trying to do this and you don't have all those tools, this we picked up at Home Depot. You can get them at Lowe's too. They're actually kind of behind all the major lumber. They're with all the kind of the more custom lumber sections. You find them in the bottom, and they basically come, and these are like multiple sheet. Like there's a sheet of wood here and a piece of wood. They're one by probably scraps, honestly. And they plane them together so you can get these nice big flat surfaces, already planed, already smoothed out. They're roughly sanded. And so we went with that option because I think this whole piece was $13. We can cut it to the size we want. It's perfectly smooth. So you can do that. It is a great option and a great way to make custom wood pieces that are wide, because you need the width a lot of times. And they're better than sometimes getting the 1x12s, because the 1x12s are always sometimes warped, and you kind of need to know how to work with those. So these are usually almost perfectly straight. They're relatively inexpensive, and you can do anything with them. Stain them any color. We'll get into all that kind of later, but let's just go see if this fits for now, and see if we can get it mounted, and at least proof of concept up today. Whew, wouldn't that be nice? Back inside. Oh. Hello, dear.
Hello.
We're going to put our wood up. Hi, Jessie Renee. Close the door. It's 4,000 degrees. Yeah, the RV is a hot mess. We are hot as hell here. The ACs are on, so sorry, you're going to deal with that in the background. I am not turning it off. It's too hot. All right, and then the desk is going to go... It's going to go right there. All right, so let's get you set up so then we can move the stuff and then we'll get going. Life with filters. I just took this one off. See, it's all dark. So now you can actually see, and it's not noisy. Well, the AC's on, so it'll be noisy that way, but it won't be noisy. It won't be noisy visually and audibly. How about that? Let's just go for one out of the two. The lens filter back on. Ta-da! I have not used these particular ones in the past. We went to IKEA. Whatever these... Oh, there we go. Whatever these are called is what we're using to mount them. Oh, come on. They don't come with the hardware. Son of a... Alright, so we're going to get the height right first. Basically, you stand up, measure to where your elbow goes, and you want it about, and I think an inch, maybe half an inch, your preference, below that. So that way we'll put it at the right height. So when I'm standing, it's the right height. This chair goes up and down, so I can then customize that, and then it's a standing desk or a sitting desk. Okay, so that's looking exactly how we planned. So that is super exciting. Now we're just going to come up from the bottom and drill everything in, keep it in place, then maybe we go monitor shopping. there's a debate about this. I want a screen that's like average size, and Kristen wants a pegboard there. See, she walks away. She knows she's going to lose. Anyways, all right, couple updates about what you're seeing. So there's the desk, keyboard, mouse pad. See the perfect dimension from one to the other? Perfect. We have the color swabs for potentially what the whole room is going to be. And the thing we want is a monitor that goes most of the way across, not all the way, so something like a 27-inch. But I'm being picky. I want like a ultra, not an ultra, but it's a HDR monitor, and I would love one plug into my computer for like the screen and power. I know, first world problems. But and then that is the not the thermometer. That's the thermometer
Thermostat.
for the thermostat.
Right.
So that tells the AC what temperature it is. So I kind of want to keep that fluid with airflow, but it can visually be covered. And then we have power up there and power right there. And that microphone is not the one that's going to sit on this desk, ma'am. It's going to be mine.
Mine is too, because I'm going to be using the desk.
We don't need two microphones on one desk, do we? Anyways, we can discuss that later. I feel like I'm only giving you guys updates when I'm in the car. And I guess that is technically true, but this week is crazy busy because I have my app launching on Monday. We've got about 6 different small businesses already signed up. No, we have like 200 businesses signed up that they want early access. But for the first couple, I'm going to literally handhold them through the process. And so we have to like set up calls. Anyways, it's really crazy busy. So on top of all of this, we've got to get this registration. I've got to get my license done this week, or else we just, I don't know, I guess we're going to be stuck here until we do. Anyway, so I am on my way back to the DPS for the 3rd day in a row. First day was research. Second day, I passed everything but one test. So I studied a little overnight, studied this afternoon a bit between all my craziness. And now we're back heading over to the Fort Worth DPS station. It's like a DMV. I guess in Texas they changed it. It's the DMV, but they call it DPS. And we're going to try and get the second test done. Now, it's 5:08 and they close at 6. So I'm hoping they'll even just let me in. But we will find out. So hopefully we pass this. So if we pass the test today, then we go and I can start to schedule my driving test. My concern is that the driving test has to be scheduled out really far. I don't know how busy or booked or behind they are. That would be terrible news if that happens. So I don't know. But let's get just through today. Let's get it tested. Let's pass this damn test. And then figure out step 2 or step 4, whatever step that one is. No go today. Wouldn't let me in. So they were at capacity, which is kind of bullshit. But whatever. I can be a jerk and an asshole, or I can just say, fine, I'll come back tomorrow morning. So I'm back from DPS, and the update today is I got my new computer screen. I haven't had a decent computer screen to work off of since like 3 months before we left, because we got rid of the desks and it just, you got rid of all the nice things. I trialed this a couple times in the class seat and loved it, having a nice big screen, but I could never get the screen to mount, and then we sold. Anyways, so now we're here. This desk is a hot mess, so I will give a final desk tour once it's all set up. But I want to show progress, and we have like a little platform built. Here, we have a focus on it. So we have a little platform built, and then I think I'm gonna mount the screen. Right now it's just sitting on its thing. I wanted to test the height. And so I have a keyboard for this, and I have a vertical, like a mounting stand, I guess they call them, for Kristen and my computer, so no matter who's working here, either one of us can actually, either one of us can work there. So that is the long-term plan. Okay, see, this is the mount I got. I got like a 2-inch depth mount. So it should be almost flush, or as close as flush can be to that wall. And you can tilt it and stuff. We're talking about painting. As we all know, we were going to paint this room. So if you have a vote, you can vote for the green or the, well, Kristen's calling it teal, but it's like green or blue. So if you vote in time, you might be able to get your vote in. I think I'm going to lose this battle. So anyways, okay, we've got to figure out dinner, massive storm coming through. Rest of the evening continues. I think the best feeling is when you had an idea and you're like, it should work, and then it does. Ah, yes. So this is basically what we wanted. I wanted a floating screen, and then I wanted my Mac to kind of just sit in a vertical, I think is what they call them, dock, and it's really, I'll show it to you. It's basically just a stand. It's just going to hold it vertically, and then it's actually made for two, so Kristen's can fit there, and then she has a HDMI port she'll be able to plug into. We'll run her a power cord because I have an extra MacBook, an old like MacBook MagSafe power, and then, but the big thing for this screen, I went a little extra. I noticed I'm a tech person, and my computer screens outlast everything. They outlast phones, computers, watches. I mean, like you name it, cameras probably. My screen will last the longest. So I went and I spent a little extra to get a 4K HDR screen because I think that will last me the next 5 years or so, if not longer. But the key thing I wanted to get was this one has the USB-C compatibility, which means for my MacBook, which is running just USB-C, one plug in, I get power and basically everything screen. There's even USBs, I believe, in this monitor, so I can plug in and use the monitor. I can use the monitor as a hub. So perfect screen, exactly what I wanted. Super pumped about it, and my vision's coming together. Hopefully, Kristen doesn't roll her eyes as much when she sees it now this time, because I definitely got a big eye roll last time. So I think it's looking better, and I think we'll make sure her computer's working on it, and she'll feel even better. Okay. It's now getting dark. We're all hungry, and we're going to go eat. We will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully pass that test. All right. Good night. Good morning. We are, it is 6:45, and we are rushing over to the GPS to open in about 45 minutes, 15 minutes from here. And hopefully we can get this test done. We have a very busy day, so this needs to be done first thing, and then we can move on with the rest of the day. All right. The big exciting news today is we passed the test. So we've done all the written portions. Now we have to email this lady and get an appointment scheduled to do the driving test. So that's the plan. So we've given up that we were going to accomplish this in 2 weeks. So we've extended for a third week here in Texas, which is good. It allows us to do registration and other stuff we haven't gotten done on time. Multiple reasons. I'm going to get hit by somebody in this parking lot. Okay, we'll catch you up in a bit. All right, so this is the end of a long week. I'm very excited this week's over, but we did not quite get everything done, so we decided to extend a week. We're here to do all our truck registration and get my Class A exempt license, which is required for our size rig in the state of Texas. I'm probably going to do a whole video on the process in case anybody's interested, because there's not a lot of YouTube content about it, but we'll post that later. Basically where we are this week is I have finished all of my written tests for the Class A exempt, so that's good. That was the hard part. I am working on scheduling my driving test, which I have to complete, and the whole rig has to basically come with us. So that's going to be that's the next step, some point in time next week. We have license plates. We just have to put those on Pete, the truck. So we're going to do that next. And then we're going to try and debug the front of the fifth wheel. So those are the tasks for the evening and probably going to end out this week's video. So, all right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us this week, and we'll catch you on the road.
Can I get some attention? There is something I need to say to all those passing by outside this little room where I've been staying. But the door is bolted and the window's locked. I'm waving through the glass to get somebody's full attention, but they all just move too fast. Hey, I got a thing to say. Can you hear me through the glass? I got some useful information about your future in your past. Hey, I got something to tell you. Can you hear me through the door? I got some useful information that will satisfy your soul. Looking through the keyhole. Hey mister, you look like you're up for a conversation. Got a minute or so? Take a look at this computation. I got it all figured out. It's all 2 and 2 is 4 and 4 is 8. Everyone listen up now, 'cause we are running late. Hey, I got a thing to say.
We just had that massive rainstorm, and it seems to be happening every time. This is like deep water. I don't want it to stretch out. I mean, it's not getting in. It's not leaking. But I need to find a way to raise it up. I got to turn the truck on just to dry it out. Where's my tools?